Hello, everybody. I'm in a castle. It seems kind of empty right now, so I wait for everyone to get back from lunch. I'm going to talk about another movie I saw on the plane, The Green Knight. So, A24 is a movie studio. They keep hiring people who have, like, super good eye for visuals, and this movie is another one of those. Like, it is pretty. Beautiful vistas of English countryside, gorgeous forests, weird, trippy bullshit. Lots of good visuals. Plot-wise, not the strongest thing, though. It's The Green Knight is adapting an Arthurian legend story. So you got a knight. He's like, hey, I want to be a guy. I want to be a knight. He's a pre-knight. He's like, hey, King Arthur, can I be a knight? And he's like, maybe. And then, hey, good timing. This big motherfucker called the Green Knight waddles in. He's a big ass tree, man. He's like, hey, I want to play a Christmas game. Any of you assholes want to fight me? Come at me, fight me, and then I'm going to give you back whatever I got, whatever you give me in a year to hence. And our pre-knight boy like, hey, I want to be a knight. This seems like a knight thing to do. I'm gonna go kick that guy's ass. So he comes in there like, hey, and chops off his head with a sword. And everyone's like, yay, murder. And then the Green Knight just casually picks his head back up off the floor and goes, see you in a year, dumbass. And that's our plot. So a year passes very quickly. Our now knight has not done much prep time for this, and goes on a quest to, well, find out, is he going to get his head chopped off? Or he's going to manage to find a way out of it. It's a morality tale because Arthurian legends stuff. I am bopping on this thing I'm standing on. I'm going to move a little bit. There we go. So, I'm sitting in the boat. I'm on a boat. Old Joe. So, the rest of the movie is him questing, basically, and dealing with assorted side plots that happen, and this is where you see the structure of these King Arthur stories come in here. Like, there's a bit with a ghost, a bit with some bandits, part where he's like, hey, lady's like, hey, my husband ain't doing it for me, you want to get your dick wet? And he's like, maybe? And some other side stuff happens. Talking fox, weird shit with his mother who's a witch, and some stuff happens. You get to our ending, which I won't spoil exactly, but I will give you an idea of what they pull. So, who here remembers Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2? That movie is not good, but I respect it because it pulls the most wonderful gambit of an ending possible. Because the book has a boring ending. It teases stuff that's going to happen, doesn't do it, and then the book wraps up. The movie says, hey, that shit's boring. I got an idea. Let's go through with all that crap that we backed off of. Show it all happen. Show all the characters having the conflicts resolved, and deaths and murder and fighting vampires and werewolves and all the sorts of crap happening. And then it's all a dream. And I literally saw the audience that I was with this for just booing the screen, and it was spectacular. Oh, that still warms my heart. Green Knight kind of trades in the same territory. Not quite that, but close. And it does give the ending a good chunk of punchiness there. I'm like, hey, alright, that actually works pretty well for our satisfying ending bit. I'm not going to say exactly how it ends, but it's satisfying in that regard. This is a movie where you're not going in for the plot particularly much, you're going in for the visuals, which, seeing this on a screen on an airplane was probably not the best use of my eyeballs for watching this film, but, you know, it's what it is. Very pretty, beautifully shot. The acting's pretty good. Visuals are just very nice, very nice. Honestly, it's reminding me a lot of The Northman, which I saw way at the beginning of the year. Similar to where you got medieval stuff going on, extremely strong visual style, kind of a weak plot, kind of saggy in the middle in terms of what's going on. It's kind of boring. Same thing happens here. There's very much a sister film to that one, in my opinion. I'd say The Northman's a little better, just because the ending is more. It has more going on with it in terms of catharsis. Green Knight is Arthurian legend, so it's way more morality tale going on. So once you figure out where it's going, you're like, oh, okay. Check your watch. Not wearing a watch. And you're like, are we done? Okay, we're done. Go home. So, not bad. If it looked nice to you from the visuals and the trailers, give it a watch. You'll probably enjoy, and it would probably be worth your time. Meantime, I'm going to go see if they have indoor plumbing here. Later.